Hiya, it's now Wednesday evening. I've just finished work for the day and I just wanted to jump on and start another reading vlog, and this time it's going to be for Fable by Adrienne Young. This is a book that I had on my TBR, and from the description I was like, oh, maybe it's a bit piratey, maybe it's a bit mermaidish. We're gonna see. And there's a couple of things in there where I'm thinking like, yeah, there's probably going to be pirates or something similar maybe. And there's a possibility for mermaids. I don't know, there's not really been money. Well, there is a bit of magic, but it's not traditional magic. It's more of a sense that this character has. So I'm not sure if it is going to be like a magical fantasy or not. We'll see how it goes. I'm really enjoying it so far though. I've actually already read 20%. I started reading it last night before bed. I think I read it for like maybe an hour or two. I read it a lot, and then I went to bed because I was exhausted, and then I literally woke up this morning, rolled over and started reading it again because I was just so interested. Unfortunately, I then had to do my job, so I had to stop reading. But now I'm going to quickly grab some food, and then I'm probably gonna settle back into bed and read some more. But in the book, Fable is kind of our title character, and she has been left on, I think it's Javel. Okay, it wasn't on a couple of pages I skimmed through. I can't remember the name of the island. It's something beginning with J, and she's kind of trapped there. She was left there by her father 4 years earlier, and she's basically planned since then to find and confront her father for leaving her. This place that he's left her is very cutthroat. The people are all left for survival. They're called dredgers. They dredge up treasures from the bottom of the ocean floor. And actually Fable is really good at this because she has a sense when she can sense kind of gemstones, and she's been doing this, trading them for coins so that she can get passage to a city in a different island where her father is supposedly. I'm not sure how she knows this. Maybe it'll come up later on in the book. Maybe that is where she grew up. I'm not sure. But basically, father left her and then I think cut her. It's really, really horrifyingly described in the book actually. It is quite horrifying to think that her father could do that. And then we also find out a lot about her backstory. We find out about her father and her mother. We get hints of her time growing up on a boat. We know a little bit about how she survived on the island. Yeah, it's really set up, in this first 20%, it's really set up the main character and the backstory, the motivation she has for going after her father and why, and the storyline of what's going to happen. Although I do think there's probably some mysteries in there, especially about our second character, West, who is the captain of the ship that she's bought passage on, because he's said yes to giving her passage, but at the same time the rest of his crew were like, how could you do this? We never give anyone passage. So we kind of want to know why he's done this, and also why she's the only one he's been trading with for the gems for the past few years. So yeah, there's definitely a mystery there to uncover, and I'm really interested to see what's going to happen. It's now the afternoon on Thursday and I'm still reading Fable on my Kindle. I'm really enjoying it. I think I'm 35% in, which is quite good. I'm reading it really fast. I think it is, well, it's a lot smaller than the previous book I was reading, which was The Doors of Eden. And I'm getting through it so quickly because it's just so interesting. I didn't want to put it down this morning. I wanted to keep reading. And we've learnt even more about the Marigold, which is the ship that Fable has found passage on, and it's probably, I think she's wrong. I don't know why I think she's wrong. I think she's wrong. I think she's uncovered something and she's assumed, but she doesn't really have enough information, and I think West and Willa and the rest of the crew are going to shock her and surprise her somehow, and I'm really intrigued to see how she reacts to that. Familiarity forming between her and some of the characters, whether that is Willa or Auster or West. And I think when they get to the next port, I think it's Ceres that they're trying to get to for her, she might not leave them. or they're not going to get, or they're going to have to take like a big long-winded way around to find something and something else. I don't really know what the actual plot line of the story is. Currently the goal is for Fable to find Saint, who is her father, and then I don't know what's going to happen next. Potentially she gets there and he's not there, and then they have to go somewhere else, but I don't know yet. But I'm really excited to find out. Hey, so it's Saturday morning and I literally woke up before my alarm, rolled over and started reading Fable because I just want to know what's going to happen. I think I mentioned previously that my assumption was that they were going to get to Ceres and then something was going to happen to lengthen out the story. It wasn't just to get to Saint. And I was correct in that they've now been, they got to Ceres, I'm not going to spoil anything for you. They got to Ceres and then Fable has figured out that she needs to go and do something else in order to get the life that she wants. And what happened in Ceres is definitely what I assumed what would happen from the rest of the book. But the next storyline is something that I wasn't expecting. I did not expect, it's kind of like an adventure quest kind of thing. And I'm really excited to see what's going to happen. I'm really excited to see how they achieve it. And yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I literally cannot put this book down, except for food, which is what I'm going to go get now because it's I've been up for 2 hours and I'm so hungry. Hey, so it's now Saturday midday-ish and I literally just stayed in bed this morning after I got breakfast and then crawled back under the covers with a cup of coffee, and I finished Fable and I just really enjoyed it. It ends on a little bit of a cliffhanger. No, not a little bit. It ends on a cliffhanger. So I'm going to need that second book as soon as possible. I'm literally on my laptop now. I'm going to go search when the next book is. But I wanted to jump on and just be like how much I love this book. I'll do a full review probably in a few weeks when I get around to filming it and also writing it. But Fable is it's such a quick read. So this is the fastest I think I've read a book in months. I spent so long reading other books. I don't know if it's just because it's shorter. I still didn't check the page count after thinking it was shorter than normal books the other day. I really enjoyed our main characters. I enjoyed the overall storyline. I mentioned this morning, like I literally read half the book this morning, that at the midpoint you take kind of the predictable route for the first half and then the second half's a little less predictable, and the second half isn't actually as maybe action packed as I thought it could have been. There's a little bit of kind of infighting between the trader ships of West and Zola, and then Saint is also part of that feud, not feud, but they're not all friends and buddy at all. And I think at the beginning, when I first read the blurb and stuff, I was like, maybe it's going to be mermaids, maybe it's going to be pirates. No, it's not like that, but it's not pirates. They're not pirates at all. And there's no kind of swashbuckling or mermaids, and there's not even many fantasy creatures. Closest thing to magic is that Fable is a gem sage, and all this really means is that she can kind of hear and sense gemstones and which ones are which and where they're hidden, which helps her be a really good dredger. And in this world there's a gem guild and you can be a gem sage in it. However, because they're so valuable to trading ships who are trying to get these gems to sell on, they got poached a lot, and then actually they started ending up being killed for revenge and stuff. So she's kind of keeping that secret to protect herself, and that's kind of the main magic that you really see in the book. That's what I guess would make it fantasy. However, it's not a huge magical sea adventure. It's very much a sea adventure. No mention of mermaids in it either. Despite it being very different to what I expected, I did really enjoy it as much as I hoped I would. And there's not really anything I can really say that's bad about the book at this point. It's just a really good read. I think definitely if you like kind of adventure series, you like being on the sea, and you kind of like that atmosphere of being on a ship, then yeah, I think you'd really enjoy this book. There's a little bit of fantasy, but not a lot, so you don't need to be a fantasy reader to get into this, but I would definitely recommend. That's going to be the end of this vlog. Really big thank you if you've got to the end, and I really hope to see you again for a different video soon.